all very, very much for being here. I can't tell you how much this means to me personally and to the community, and certainly it's a testimony to the President how much we all think of him and know what a great job he did. We've got some huge challenges in front of us. Huge challenges. But the fact of the matter is, we're Americans. We're going to get by them, and we're going to be better because of it. But in order to do that, we've got to get through this election. This is the most critical election, I think, of my life. Because the guys that are running, the people who want to take over, want to take us back. They want to repeal all the great things that we've done, healthcare reform, Wall Street reform, and higher education reform, all the things that are so important to our country and the great people in this country. We can't allow that to happen. The only thing that's going to allow us to go back to the times that got us into this mess is if we don't go out and vote. We've got to go out and vote. We've got to bring our friends, our neighbors, and our families. We've got to get out there on the 2nd. We've got to make sure we vote, and we've got to make sure we keep moving the country ahead. Yeah. There's nobody that knows how important that is, and there's nobody that's done more for our country than the man that's here today to speak with us. President Bill Clinton is a fantastic human being. He was a fantastic president. He supports me now, and I'm even more proud to say that I've been with you all the time too. I've been with Clinton in every election for the last few. Let's give a great Napa Valley welcome to the President of the United States. Wow, thank you so much. It may be raining outside, but the sun's shining in here. I want to first thank Mike Thomson for being such a good friend to me, to Hillary, to our family, and to our country. And thank you for giving me a reason to come back here. I want to acknowledge in the audience another member of Congress, a longtime friend of mine who was one of my co-chairs in California when I ran for president in '92, and nobody but my mother thought I could win. Congressman John Garamendi, where are you? Stand up. After I was elected and inaugurated in 1992 and January of '93, there was a special election in the 1st Congressional District of California, and the very first person I ever endorsed for public office after I became President of the United States was Mike Thomson. And all the years since, nothing has given me more confidence in my judgment and how smart I was back then in endorsing him. Because I'm here for a number of reasons. I think he's been a fabulous congressman for you. One thing, you can tell a lot about a member of Congress if they ask you to come to an event by the stuff they send you to read before you get up here. Think about it. The stuff they say, you don't know anything about this. You have no way of knowing what he's going to send me to prepare me to come here. Now, the average person will say, I voted for this, I like this, and my opponent's a slug for these reasons. You know,
kind of prep you up for a campaign. It's only 2 weeks for the election. You got to get wired, right? He sent me, as God is my witness, he sent me county by county in this district, the things that he had done for people, 5, 6, 8, 10, 12 things, county by county. And it said to me, he believes his job is to serve you and to solve problems and to take advantage of opportunities and to empower the people of this district to live as well as they can under whatever circumstances we find ourselves. He has been a fabulous member of Congress for years. My little note says this is the 83rd event I've done in this campaign season. This was by far the most detailed, specific, people-oriented list I have received on any candidate in America. You should be really proud of that. And besides that, he's the wine king of advocates in Congress. But whether it's, wetlands or protection of forests from infestations or specific things to promote solar and geothermal energy, not just policies I voted on, but how it applies to people, it's a huge deal. Taking Washington and the policies you vote for and applying it to the lives of people in the district, it's a huge deal and a gift. Even some of the best public servants, when it comes to voting and speaking, can't answer the how question. How do I take my good intentions in this good bill I voted for and change the lives of the people that I'm trying to represent? So that's the first thing. The second thing I want to say is he's really been good for America. You hear all this stuff from the other side, and I'll say more about this in a minute, about how partisan the Democrats are and all that. It's really a load of hooey. I mean, the president bent over backwards to work with the Republicans when he got there. He asked the Democrats in Congress, please don't do any investigations about what happened in the Bush years. Let's just start again. Give America a fresh start. They have announced that if you give them the majority in the House, they're going to spend 2 years investigating him, the White House staff, the Congress, with the goal not of finding anything wrong, but of just keeping them on the defensive for 2 years so nothing really good can be done for America. So Mike Thomson has a reputation of being willing to work with anybody across party lines, philosophical lines, to actually solve the problems of this country. That's important. One thing that's important to me, and I want to say a little more about this in a minute, is that he has voted for investments in our future, but he belongs to the group, the caucus in the Congress that believes that over the long run, when growth returns, we have to get back to a balanced budget, and I agree with that as well. And most important of all, he's a leader in a group of people who understand that the key to our economic future, not just the future of the planet and whether our children and grandchildren have a place worth living, but the key to our economic future is putting America back in the lead in the race for clean energy and changing the way we produce and consume energy. It's the best thing we can do for the economy. Plus, he's running against a guy that doesn't live here. And, I think the Constitution says every congressional district is entitled to one representative. There's no reason you should have none and someone else should have two. It's just not right. We're having a little fun here, but you think I'm joking. I was in West Virginia the other day, and their Tea Party candidate for the Senate spends more than half a year in Florida. Wife votes in Florida, kids in school in Florida, got a business in West Virginia. I said, I love Florida. They were good to me, but I don't think they need 3 senators. You see this everywhere. Everywhere these wacky things are happening. They have a former Republican member of Congress running for governor in Colorado who said that President Obama was Muslim and took Christmas out of the White House. And when they showed him a picture of the White House Christmas tree, He said, "See, I told you, it's full of hidden Muslim symbols." I couldn't make this up. And if we're supposed to believe the polls, a bunch of these people are going to win. Why? Let's get down to the meat of the coconut. All of you stood up and you cheered, and I thank you. I was deeply moved by this. California was good to me. This part of California was good to me, and good to Hillary, and good to President Obama. But here's what I want to tell you. All these polls that say we're going to have a terrible election, they are premised on the assumption that the electorate in 2008 will not reflect the same America as the electorate in 2010. In other words, they think fewer people of color, fewer young people, and fewer progressives will show up because of the so-called enthusiasm gap, where the far right is in a white heat, having been fed raw meat for a year and a half by their media outlets. I thought I was a high-energy fellow to be as old as I am. They made me look like I'm permanently on Prozac. And because young people typically don't vote in midterms, and I've been going to a lot of college campuses, and truly a lot of people who voted last time have never voted before, and have no idea that everything they voted for 2 years ago can be wrecked by their not voting this time. So what I want to do is take a couple minutes here and explain how this looks to me, where America is, where we're going, and ask you, maybe plead with you, to think every single day for as much time as you can allot about the people who are not here. Not only in this congressional district, but throughout California. Or if you have friends in other parts of America who are in places where there are difficult races. Because I'm afraid this combination of anger on the right, apathy among the progressives, healthy dose of amnesia thrown in about how we got in the fix we're in, will wind up giving the American people the result they do not want, but may think they do. Now, I was telling Mike, you know, I'll be candid with you, when I started out in this election season, if anybody had told me that by now I would have done 83 events, I would have said it's crazy. Because most of my life, this is my foundation, you know, I'm working hard to rebuild Haiti. Projects in Ukraine on AIDS and tuberculosis. I went to Africa to review our projects. I've been to Latin America this year to look at our economic projects. I work all over the world and in America. This year we announced that we had reduced in our childhood obesity initiative, we've succeeded in negotiating agreements with the soft drink manufacturers that have reduced the caloric content of beverages served to our children in schools by 88%. This much. My objective when I started was to make myself available to people like Mike, who helped Hillary because she is one of only 2 people in President Obama's cabinet, the other being the Secretary of Defense, who cannot participate in politics because the Secretary of State and the Secretary of Defense are supposed to be beyond partisanship. So there's nobody to honor those people that helped us but me. They're stuck with me.